Hello, everybody. Hello, hello. I am getting ready. I am so excited about today's topic. And the funny part is that I have, how do you want to put it? I have been married to my twin flame for several years, 8 years now. And we're going to talk about all that. We're going to talk about what's happening November 11th, because November 11th is the portal. It's the portal. It's very important, and this one is very important with the abundance and talking about bringing in your twin flame, helping you to bring into your divine masculine and feminine, not your wounded. We're going to be healing those. And so it's very exciting to be able to allow yourself to do the healing. There's lots of things right now. And the twin flame is not, maybe you know a lot about it, maybe you don't. What is it? But I'm actually living it. And so because I'm living it, I haven't said anything until now because I didn't take this lightly. I had to make some major decisions in my world that had everything to do with breaking down my old life to allow myself to have my new life. And I was living what I thought was my beautiful life. And yet I was not. I was missing the mark just ever so lightly. I thought, oh, I'm supposed to be this, this, and this. These are the doors that I have chosen. This is the path I'm supposed to have. But yet, I was stopping myself. And I did not know about arrested developments and self-imposed limitations and my comfort zone. When I began to learn that my path had switched from what I thought was my life to lining up to my yellow brick road. This particular part was my divine right, my divine road. And I wasn't with my twin flame at the time. Now, I had met him, but did not fully comprehend because I was still way too much human, way too much in the negativity, or I was very positive, but there were programs that were in negative. So you need the 4 ingredients to life: mental, emotional, spiritual, and physical aspects of yourself that allow you to see your yellow brick road, to understand your path and your purpose, to understand your twin flame. And when I finally started to incorporate all of the healing tools and started aiming for healing, and just my goal was joy. My goal always had this big golden light bubble, and inside it was harmony. It was peace. And it's that Spirit says, well, how do you know what the feeling of harmony and peace is? I said, good question. So I began to embody in understanding what those were. By doing so, I started to see more of that golden white light bubble that was supposed to be my divine self, my authentic self. And so for so many years, I have been sitting here healing, growing, and going into an aspect of myself that allowed my twin flame to become more present in the person I had already met. So when you meet certain people, you may go, because what state of mindset are you in? What state of mind are you in? The mindset is going to control you and whether you allow yourself to have your desires, to be joyful. And that mindset of being poor, that mindset of being anything other than joy and happiness needs to be healed, needs to be addressed. So the twin flame. So as soon as I started to remove lack, now we're always in a state of abundance, but is it going to be love or fear? And this state of abundance kept thinking, oh, all the programs of what I had when I was younger, being and finding that my attraction factor for love, hello, and this attraction factor for love was all about how I experienced relationships in the past. So my twin flame was so close but yet far away. And I didn't really realize the idea of what a twin flame was. Now, was I with my soulmate for 20 years? Yes. Do I regret it? No. We are so out of sync. We are not anything like each other. And when I finally started realizing that I had to stop attracting in a narcissist, someone that gaslights, someone that has to be right all the time, regardless if they're wrong. And I thought, wait a minute, I don't want to, this is a man I chose. And I wrestled with this fixed mindset. I can't, I am not, I'm so bad, it's too hard, I'm done. And when I changed the mindset and I began to, I can't yet, I became a resolver. I am going to be, no, I am, and I'm going to embody that feeling. And when I finally realized that to get to the new program, you have to create the program, which means you have to practice, you have to fire and wire new things. When I began to notice that every time I thought something was too hard or hit my comfort zone, my littles or my shadows would keep me bound in that fixed state. And I said, no, I'm so much more than that. And when I finally started to love myself, find myself, give myself that sense of love, take down all of that and heal out and fizzle out the emotional chemical peptide that had been stuck with, you're not good enough, you're none of these things, nobody will want you, you're not pretty. And when I finally started to heal that, well, if you don't know what I'm saying, understand there are words that need to be defined. If you're in your negative state, start putting your hand just like this. Create the circuit to connect with your innate wisdom that knows you better than you know yourself. And when you start to do this, you'll start to heal out negative thinking. And if you're scrambled, sit there. Just do this. Cross your ankles and allow yourself to become unscrambled so you can hear. There are ways that you can work with your energy fields. So meeting your twin flame, you have to start preparing yourself to be a twin flame, because you don't want to meet your twin flame as a wounded, because you don't want to co-create with codependency and trauma bonding, because that will screw up your twin flame growth. Okay? So here is the thing. When you allow yourself to realize that when you start to take and love yourself, start healing out the limitations, start healing out all of the things that stop you, the benefits of love begins to return. And when I finally came to grips that I can no longer be in that other marriage, I can no longer live in that state where my body was physically dying. No, this is not a religion. This is about waking up and understanding what love is. It's a metaphysical aspect. When you allow yourself to start to remove the limitations, your fears, you'll be able to grow. You want a twin flame? You got to be a twin flame. You want a twin flame? You got to not attract in the wounded twin flame. You need to begin to heal your wounds. So me and my husband that I have now, we don't do what's missing from a normal, so-called normal relationship. What's missing? Well, we don't sit there and build up what's called an intolerance tube. Oh, you so annoy me. I'm going to stuff it in there. I won't say anything, but I'm going to let it build up, and I'm going to think, and I'm going to rehash, and I'm going to hate you. That's the one way to destroy a relationship, is build that intolerance tube. We don't have one. We have made the choice that when you meet your twin flame, you will want to focus on prioritizing growth. And we both come together and we can feel this sense of meeting of the self. It's like you're me and I'm you. It was a meeting. It was like a mirror. It's like meeting stuff. Even his father goes, oh my God, you guys are alike. And we look at each other and go, yeah, we are. And other people began to see this. And we focused on that if we, our human self, minus our spiritual self, because the twin flame is the whole self that's coming together, and you want the divine aspect, not the wounded, but you can heal the wounded. And those are your life lessons. So my husband I have now, me and him can tell that we can have independence and feel whole and come together and feel like we enhance each other because we're already whole. And yet, when we get together, we know that it's so safe to be vulnerable because what's missing in the relationship? We don't have to bring up shit that's like, did you ever have a feeling? Because in my other relationships, it was, I don't want to tell them that because they use it against me. If I have my fears, or if I tell you my secrets, if I tell you my vulnerability, you're going to hurt me, which is what other people did to me. But because I healed myself, the beautiful part is that we have set, and it's even in our wedding vows, that basically if we feel any of that human stuff that goes, Arr! We know those are past programs. We can come to the present. We don't have to take the past programs, throw it in the future, and then just destroy each other. Because it isn't about one-upping. It isn't about energy pulls. And it isn't about right and then I'm going to win. It isn't about any of that. That's not what a twin flame relationship is. That's a wounded twin flame. But when it does come up, my husband and I, like I said, was in our wedding vows. Stop. We're out of sync. We're going to go heal. And we will go into individual spaces and we will heal it, not by talk therapy, and we're going to fire and wire and build and make more ruts and be back in the same hellhole. No. We connect with our innate wisdom. We learn to get out of the past. We learn to get out of the future. We learn to be in the moment. So that is being mindful. But while we're healing, we can't go into the mindful because then we're going to overcome. So you have to understand that this connection is about connecting to your innate wisdom that does the healing for you. Now, there's a whole process. I teach that. But when you can just learn how to drop your hand, okay? So hand, drop your fingers, and you just sit there. The blood will go back into your forebrain and get you out of stress, get you out of fight, flight, freeze. It helps you think because this frontal lobe is about creating reality. Now, our full intention is to love each other. Why do I need to scribble in I have to hate him? Because it's a feeling. No, this helps you shift your brain, shift your reality, shift your perspective from wounded to fear, out of that completely to, oh, you can feel. Your head gets clearer. The emotions that were are up. And you're able to step into a state of mind that's not about fixed and hellish and helpless and hell loops. No. Your mind begins to become clear. You go back to what you originally were doing, was that fact that it's about love. And it's not about one-upping. It's not about, oh my God, we've got to, fight. No. Once we set our energies back to healthy state, man, we can have turnaround times like that. If we get into, that means our energies are off. We stop. We go out of sync. We go heal. And the turnaround times could be like less than 5 minutes. And we're back to going, oh, why did that get to me? Questions are different. Well, I was just doing healing and I realized it reminded me of when I was little. So your littles will come up. The shadows and the masks will come up. But when you're healing those, you begin to stop In the middle, you calm down that nervous system so you don't have to be in a fight, flight, freeze. You understand, when you go into fight, flight, freeze, 80% of your blood leaves your forebrain, goes into your limbs. It doesn't allow you to connect to your authentic self, to your higher heart, to anything. It doesn't allow any of that. So my goal is always to get back to joy, always back to this present moment with love. And it isn't about, stuffing it, suppressing it. No, that doesn't work. Because you make another mask, you stuff another child part of you down. No, you need to address it. And the best way to address it is with your hand, I don't care, either one, and doing OMG. So here's the thing. You want to allow yourself to understand that your twin flame is a mirror of you. So if your twin flame or somebody comes up to you and they seem like you, but yet they're wounded and you can't handle that, don't be throwing yourselves together and try to grow, because neither one of you have the correct tools. Me and him could not be together for 1.5 years. We both said, and I told him, because I said spiritually, I said, look, you need to go and we need to heal. We need to finish up whatever we're doing. We need to heal any blocks that doesn't allow us to be together. Because we didn't focus on, we can't be together. Oh, it's because of their fault. No, that's so human. You need to be your whole self. If you want to be a twin flame, you better damn well start understanding you're a spiritual being that's having a human experience. You better step up into your twin spiritual self. Otherwise, it's just going to be soulmates. So, me and him, he did his thing. I couldn't help him. He couldn't help me. I said, I don't know how long it takes. Keep healing every day. And every day after I was done, you're like, I would heal it out. And when I'm talking about issues, I'm not just saying, thank you. No, I lived as that. I got myself into a healthy, happy state. And I'd say, thank you, Spirit. And we will get closer and closer. And I send love to him. And thank you for his healing. Thank you for him healing this. And I just kept putting it out there that I already knew the end result, the end game, that both of us were going to be together. And that we're going to be strong together. And I held joy. Now, he had 1.5 years and I had 1.5 years apart. We healed our stuff because our intention was, we're ready. But we have to first create closure to things that no longer serve. That means I watched my business change, my classrooms change, my friendships change, my relationship in my house change. I had everything going for me, but I had all that was changing. I just didn't close him down and just run to him, because then you got to have emotional closure. You got to have things that no longer serve, because the energy that you invested there is going to stay there. And when you go running off to try to do your next part of your future, you're not going to have your whole self with you. You will have this stuff that will come along with you, and it's unfinished business. You need that energy. So one morning I was sleeping. I woke up. My whole body started to vibrate differently. I said, shit, he did it. He did it. Oh my God, he did it. Am I ready? Yes. Oh my God, what do we do now? I've never been here. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you. 6 hours later, I'm finally realizing that I have got to do something. Spirit says, I've just felt call. Connected. It ended up being his birthday. And I said, you did it. He said, yes, I did. And I said, thank you, Spirit. I said, let it unfold now. Let it flow. I live 10,000 miles apart from him. I'm in Michigan. He's in Australia. We let it unfold. And now it's 8 years that we've been married. And we just celebrated our anniversary. And I am so grateful and so in love. And it's not, there's hardly any fighting. Because if that comes up, that means some part of me needs to heal, some part of him needs to heal. And we are going to support one another, but not let each other teach each other how. Now, pay attention to this. If he's in a bad mood, You need time and space to do things, but I'm not going to support him to stay there. So then I have to submit, or I have to go. So you don't train each other to go into a negative state like you did when you're human, because you're more spiritual. And you need to step up into that role. You understand? I will let him have his space. But if it starts to, he's going to take up residency and start living there, I'm going to go in and I'm going to heal. If he can catch himself, because it's not about me pointing it out, he has to become aware. Does he want to be less than love? And all of a sudden he'll go heal. And then we get to be reunited again. We have different points of interest, but we have so many similarities. But when we step into doing what we love in that form of meditation with our spirit, we're whole. But we also include each other. So we grow. So a twin flame is like meeting yourself. But that first meeting, I knew something, but I couldn't understand it. He knew something and he couldn't understand. On a human level, not just spiritual, on the human level, ooh, he's attractive. Ooh. But my heart knew. Okay? We both had the desire to grow. We had a lot of similarities. We had this deep connection. And the same time, again, we knew that whatever we said was not going to be blabbed everywhere else. It wasn't going to be used as a love, as a weapon in the relationship. We don't do intolerance tubes. What's missing from our relationship is all the things that other people do as just human. We don't play these games with each other. Now, the games we play are fun. We giggle, we laugh, we play card games, we go and goof around, we love dancing, we love stupid stuff, we love walks, we love plants, we love this, we love that, we love TV, but when we do it, there's a giggling effect with it. And I can tell you physically, the physical sensation, the love and the feeling I have in my body is my body tingles. I know how to stay in my present moment. When we had a funeral that we had to go to, oh my God, I lost being able to be in my fixed state with my divine mind. I lost this present moment because all I could do was feel. And oh my God, there were so many things. And if it wasn't for my tribe, I don't know if I would have got back in. Spirit says, yeah, you would have. But I noticed with my tribe, they hold that sense of self. They have the same the same kind of thinking, and they're able to see beyond the veil. They're able to see beyond just being human. You know what's nice is that you can just think. You can be in that vibrational field. And it is very loving. So what you need to understand about a twin flame is this is a spiritual union. It isn't just physical coming together and bumping uglies. It's not even, you can have that spiritual. Let me tell you, it'll go deeper when you do physically connect. Because it isn't just a one-off. You're not connecting just the first chakra, second. You're connecting like with all your chakras. And I'm not talking about tantric. I'm talking about this meld. When you get a hug, you just don't realize it's not in desperation, but it's like, whoa, it just feels good. And you don't care if it lingers. You like it to linger. You're not in desperation, not in any of that at all. Are you with me? Do you understand what I'm saying? What questions do you have about your twin flame? What kind of questions? Where are they? First of all, you got to make yourself a twin flame, because if you have a wound and you start attracting that in, you're going to end up hurting one another. Because you didn't learn the life lessons to get out of those, to be in the state, to hold that space of frequency of what a twin flame, and that's the divine feminine and the divine masculine, the unity. And it doesn't have to be male, female. It is each single human has a gender, both genders in it. So you can even have a twin flame being your child. You can have it be, this is the part that people are, oh no, one has to have a penis and one has to have a vagina. No. When I saw a mother and a child, actually twin flames, but it was the way they held their gender inside themselves, the divine masculine and the divine feminine in themselves. And I was like, whoa. That was so exciting. That we think linear and think, oh, it has to be this way. No. Do you understand what I'm saying? Unification, unification, unification. It has nothing to do, sorry about that. It has nothing to do with compromise. It has nothing to becoming less than, oh, one's more superior than the other. No. It is like the sun and the moon. They just weave in and out like that infinity. And you do. Me and him, like he can't sit there and he's like, can't think of this. I come in and I can, oh, yeah, that. And then all of a sudden we make such a beautiful team. I can't figure out something. He comes in, hey, oh, beautiful team. Because we hold each other's keys of things and we allow ourselves to grow. That's the thing. People ask me, how many times do you heal? Tell me, how many times do you guys think I heal? I want to hear it. Literally, I want to hear it. For a healer to heal themselves, you're the greatest healer of all. The greatest healer is the one that can heal themselves. But how many times? I want to see. How many times do you think? Oh, thank you for the roses. How many times do you think? So my daughter's been dreaming about her twin flame. And she could sense that he was like 20 miles from her house. She goes, Mom, it doesn't make any sense. I said, but are you ready? Because the two shall not meet unless you want to decide that you want to meet in wounds, and that you can be a tumultuous thing. Or you can meet in wholeness. Nikki says, I heal every day. I assume Brenda does too. Alicia says, multiple times a day. Yes. I've gotten to the point that if I feel, oh, that's less and love, hold on. It takes me a few seconds, whatever it is I do. And then sometimes I will take that lesson. Epiphanies pops, those are healings. Feeling that divine love, that you just take and you put it in your heart. You live it, breathe it, walk, and talk. It's sacred. And when you begin to do so, you'll not be that human going, oh my God, I'm in a hell loop and a shit show, and I have to heal it, but I have no strength. If you have no strength, that's fine. But you can then come and say, hey, help me put my head back in order. Help me put my heart back in order. And then it's up to you to sit there and begin to notice what kind of environment is your soul mirroring out in front of you, because your soul is saying, hey, can you heal this now? Your ego says, here, let me show you all of the things that you're putting your power, your life force, your 100% of your life force into that no longer serve, but you keep repeating it. You don't realize it. When you start to understand the shift, you first have to understand the measure. Now, I teach this, I talk about it, I help people shift because they want it. You have to have that soul's urge. If you have got questions about a twin flame, so twin flames are like mirrors, yes. We are our own ultimate twin flame, yes. And when we start to balance our own divine feminine and divine masculine, then you begin to mirror that wholeness out. You can actually begin to see a very healthy mirror. A twin flame connection is the connection of two balanced souls bringing bonus energy to the connection. Absolutely. Absolutely. And when it is balanced in the divine feminine and the divine masculine, you'll begin to understand it. But where do people begin? A twin flame, I want one. And so you go looking, right, as a human. But what's this? What about this? You got to prepare yourself to understand that if you want it out here, you got to start working on it in here. because all you're going to do with your attraction factor, and attraction factor is your programs from your past that are going to say this is who you are. Or you can say the programs from your past are lessons that I can become me. The programs of your past are those things that are unconscious and incompetent and called fate. But if you can lift it up and you start healing that shit, you change your fate. You end up the unconscious, tend to marry your unconscious, and that can be your partner. But if you start to understand how to heal it in a whisper instead of a bitch slap, you won't have to see it in a tumultuous relationship, whether it is a partner, a friend, family, siblings, co-workers. You can learn to understand and read the mirror. And once you start to become unification, integration, then your littles won't be in charge. Your shadows won't have to be shadows, and you don't have to wear masks. You know what's missing in our twin flame relationship? We don't put masks on. We don't have to cover up the room and go, no. We don't sit there and use love as a weapon. That's what's missing from our relationship. And thank God we don't have to have that anymore. We look at each other, my God, we see our souls. And he is the most handsomest soul I've ever seen. But he's also the most handsomest twin flame I've ever seen. I'm thinking, I'm pretty good too. Your inner world creates your outer world. And it has nothing to do with doing good deeds. It isn't about trying to get into heaven. You create your heaven or hell on this earth. And if you don't have a program that supports you, you got to create one. So on November 11th, which could be November 10th in the United States, I'm going to be doing, and because the portal, 1111 portal, it's a twin flame portal. And it's open. It's opened right now. But I'm not going to do this meditation until the 11th. And then we're going to, and that's $33 for that. But what we're going to do is it's about abundance, but it's about the twin flame. But it's about looking at how to manifest. Now, we already have abundance. Do you want heaven or hell? The abundance, fear or love. You already have. Abundance is something that's always there. It's just that where are you aiming? But I want you to tap into the abundance of your wholeness, the abundance of love. Yes, heaven is that frequency within you and all around you. That's why I create a heaven every day. Even when there's problems that come up, thank you, Spirit, for solving it. I had one last night. The shock at first, healed the shock. Thank you, Spirit. What do I do? This is what I done. Got it taken care of this morning. Didn't even have to break a sweat. Didn't have to go to that fear. It's like with the monks. They can't touch women. It's part of the thing. But this one monk saw this beautiful woman in her wedding dress, and she had to get across the river, and he did that spiritual thing. He picked her up, he carried her across, put her down, and then he continued to walk. His monk buddy goes, "Oh my God, I can't believe you did that. You touched the woman. Oh my God. What are you doing? I put her down hours ago. Why are you still carrying her?" You've got to make a decision. You want a healthy environment, you start creating it. I get up in the morning, I wake up, I don't look at the clock. Well, sometimes I do, but I go, okay, I put my hand on my heart and say, what's gratitude feel like? Yeah. And usually it's like, I love my man over there, or oh, my birds, or that, because you've already received it. You already know what love is. When people get good things, like people's expectations, some people want a reading. Does he love me? And then all of a sudden you give them this healing, and it's like, oh my God, there you feel good. I don't care about that. I want to know if he loves me. What's the problem there? They don't understand when somebody gives you something, you don't know how to be grateful for it. I don't want you to live in expectant. I expect you to get, no. What do I want? I want you to live in expectancy of understanding what it feels like with the flow. Giving and receiving, because most people say, well, it's better to give than receive. Bullshit. That was a restriction from the paradigm. Your twin flame passed 5 months ago. Feels so incomplete and devastated. Well, if you are going to understand what a twin flame is, we're going to have to learn because I feel like part of your lesson is to heal your heart. Because your twin flame, let me tell you, if you begin to become more whole, heal that humanism of that pain and suffering, your twin flame, even though they're on the other side, they'll be bothering you like my mother does. She's dead. But by God, I'm a non-flashy. I hear you. But man, I can hear her, talk to her. And as we have more of a relationship today than we did in the past. Only difference is it's not physical. He's with you all the time. And the more you're in pain, the more you can't hear him. And the more that he gets closer and you're more in pain, that's him getting closer. But the more that the pain's there, the more you can't hear it. And I teach and I help and I heal. You do what you got to do. And let me tell you, as soon as you start to get rid of those fears, here's the thing. You see my body. This is my subconscious mind. It holds all of my information. But it's also like a television set. I beam myself in here. This is just a television set. There's even proof that we don't live in the body. There's a unified field. We live in the field. So we can't die. Our body can, but we can't die. When you begin to notice that with healing, physical healing. So if you're human and you want to live longer, start healing your telomeres. But your telomeres can only be healed if you start to extend your telomeresis. And the way to do that is you have to start opening up your heart. And when your heart and your brain create coherence, your nervous system starts to heal you. You have to get your shit out of your own way, or you got to get yourself out of the way so that you can receive this love. So I have my family members all the time. Someone that we just love just passed. And I'm like, oh, I could tell when they passed all of this. And so, because if you start talking, to them, or like I was talking to my husband, we were laying in bed and talking, and all of a sudden, it was like me calling them. I could feel. Next thing you know, oh, she passed over. She goes, ooh, ooh. I'm like, oh, I said, that's not how it works. And she goes, what? Rats. And she's laughing, because she's communicating through my emotional and mental field. Okay. And then she's, okay, I'm going to go haunt the rest of the family. Not evil, but to go visit them, because she's a comedian. So I said, okay. So we had a chat. She gave a message to, it was my husband's mother. And she gave a message, and he so I could feel her leave. And then we go to the funeral. And all of a sudden I hear these people that are really religious go, oh my God, I think Mom visited me the other night twice. And all of a sudden I could feel her going, go. So I ended up beelining over there listening. And Mom goes, see, I did. I knew, I told you I was going to do it. And I was like, oh my God. And I just was laughing because she did it. How he received it. Well, he needed more education of what it meant. I think I had a trauma. I think I had a trauma twin flame, and now I just heard about her, and she sounds like I have moved past her, and she is still here. When you understand, that's why, again, on 11/11, this meditation is going to be very important. And then I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 classes for 125. And we're going to do them back to back. So it'll be like on the 18th and 19th in Australia. So it would be 17th, 18th in the United States. And then the 25th and the 26th. And then we're going to do one so it'll be November 11th and November 12th. United States would be 10 and 11. So it'd be just one difference. But each one of those, we're going to help you manifest, help you see what the inner child is trying to tell you in its pain. Will help you heal your pain. Will help you balance. Will help you learn how to take the mask off. You're going to learn how to change the mindset so that you can allow that energy to be with you, so that you can get into the quantum field, so you can begin to allow yourself to pay attention to love and learning to be mindful instead of bringing the past and letting yourself be 95% of your programs. You can stop that altogether. Well, that'd be nice. You can do this. If you want it. I mean, I wasn't going to do it. And then my one friend says, you're going to do it. And I said, well, Spirit, do I need to do it? And the next thing I know, I got to do it. And then all of a sudden I wrote 5 pages this morning, exactly detailed of what it's going to look like and how it's going to be. And it's like, holy crap. So 1111 is about unity. It's about the master number. It's about the spiritual waking number. It's about the first 11 is our world. The second 11 is our spiritual world. And this portal is going to open up because it's about the twin flame connection. First within yourself. And once you start to do that, you'll start to create coming back in the present. Do you understand? And people think, okay, they died. Do you know? Probably shouldn't say this because it depends on your belief. But I've seen twin flames that supposedly have died off the planet, and yet they appear in somebody else. Don't let your imagination with your human self limit you. Do you understand? Just saying. So I'm hoping you guys enjoyed to understand more about what the twin flame is. The process, what is the price again for the whole thing? What's 125 and 33? Because you can do them separately. But so my brain can't do math. Just to let you know when I'm in this state, and it looks like 158. And that's total. Anywhere from 1 hour to 2 hours of classes. You're going to see like before and after. You're going to learn to measure. We're going to have, but this meditation is going to be a big one. We got to have your intention. So you're going to need to understand how to write intention. Thank you very much, Nita. 158 total. That's how much it is. But that is a meditation and then 5 classes. And within the 5 classes will be a whole bunch of steps that's going to help you understand how to manifest, how to stay in alignment of abundance, how to golden lasso your life into this where you're meant to be. You're creating your yellow brick road. And you're going to do it by healing these little things out. The little selves, they're going to learn how to mature. You're going to learn how to take the mask off. You're going to learn how to integrate your shadows. You're going to learn how to be the figure 8. Okay.